Hello, my fellow human beings. My name is Ed.
And my name is Ben, and this is Brown Bear Radio.
The podcast that's here to help us feel more at homo. We're here to communicate, titillate, and educate,
Because community doesn't happen.
unless you make it happen. Hi, Ben.
Hey, Ed,
Are you still enjoying our contrived little opening? You still don't want to change it?
no, I'm loving it.
Yeah, it's
I
perfect.
actually really do love. I find myself practicing my little inflection on the word happen
Mm-hmm.
now.
In the mirror?
That happens.
Yep. You should do a little hair flick or swish or something to really accent that bad boy.
I am offended that you think I'm not currently doing that every time I do it.
That's my boy. All right, Ben, today's episode is all about coming out later in life. How do you feel about it?
I feel like this is a really wonderful and empowering topic to explore. I have quite a few older friends that have come out later in life, and for a myriad of reasons, be it religious, safety, maintaining family expectations, status quo. But the one thing they all had in common was that hiding their true self, and they're now free to express themselves. And it's just amazing being part of that and watching them learn and explore, which is pretty cool. But for myself, I don't necessarily have a lot of experience in this, considering, I came out later in my own journey, but not later in life. But I do believe, Ed, we have a guest star to help us explore this
Yes.
topic.
Yes, we do. Shortly, I will introduce our very special guest star from the Brown Bear Skool community. Firstly, I want to say about coming out later in life, it's such a gorgeous human experience. It's such a journey.
Yes.
It's a raw thing to go through coming out at any age. And often these stories about coming out later in life are always so real, so human, relatable, even if not directly relatable, because the whole gay
Yes.
harrowing journey is pretty fucking harrowing, to be honest, in many cases. It gets worse before it gets better sometimes. I hope the kids are having more fun today, but maybe me and you can throw in a little bit of our coming out stories as well.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm super excited and very, very proud and very pleased to be introducing Chris from the Brown Bear Skool community. Thank you very much for joining us live, Chris. How you going?
Hey, doing great, Ed. How are you doing?
I am very, very well. We are
Hi,
thrilled to
Ben.
have you here. You've been in the Brown Bear Skool community for how long?
Uh, about 8 weeks, 7 or 8 weeks.
Uh-huh. And how's that going so far?
Amazing. It's I think I've told several people it's one of the best decisions I've ever made for myself. I just really have enjoyed the community and the closeness and the silliness. And
Yeah.
I've made some or made friends, and I feel like I'm in the process of making more friends, and it's just given me kind of a lifeline and a safety net that I think I really needed at this time.
Yeah, that Chris, genuinely, like, I know this word gets used a lot, but genuinely beautiful. Like, I've watched you come in, you have gone out of your way to try to make friends. That has even been slightly awkward at times. And people have been like, who's this Chris guy? He direct messaged me. And I'm like, oh, yeah, he's looking for friends. Like, he's just trying. Give him a chance. I think he's a bit of a sweetie. Like, we'll find out. Maybe he's a weirdo. If he is, we'll kick him out. But if he's not, great. And many people are coming to really enjoy you. You have your own special brand of like sweet, playful, kind of youthful, baby gay energy, and I think we're all enjoying it. And this is exactly why I've invited you as our very first guest from the community into the podcast, because I want to share not only your story but also like your bravery and your charm and your willingness to go hard at all of this. You've done so much in such a short amount of time. Like, how long have you been out for now?
I guess the date that I kind of have in my brain is when I finally just made the decision, where like I drew a line in the sand, was October 16th.
Okay,
So
and
not very long
today,
ago. And
16th of December. So that's 2 months, like 8 weeks.
so it's been too much. Yeah. And I think I joined Brown Bear Skool like the 24th of October. It's like 8 days after I made that decision. I
Wow.
found you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And we did notice. I did notice. I was like, oh damn, this guy emotional. Damn, this guy going through a lot. Holy shit, you just came out. Like, and when I was talking to Chris is an active client as well, dear listeners, because he wanted that extra layer of support and more access to me, and he enjoyed the immediate contact and the interview process and stuff. So he signed up. And it's just been a lot, which is why the entire time I've been inspired. The entire time I've been like, dude, you're doing so much. Like, take it easy, be kind to yourself, be nice. Like,
Yeah.
we can walk this path one day at a time. Thank
Mm-hmm.
you for choosing me. That feels like a real privilege. And yeah, it's just been a delightful journey. Chris, it's an absolute pleasure to have you in the community. You post absolutely silly and dumb stuff all the time. There's a lot of dad humor in there. There's a lot of just like,
Right.
I'm gonna
Yeah.
We
give it a
love
go.
dad humor. Dad
Yeah.
Oh
humor
yeah.
is top tier, and I will stay
Uh,
on that hill.
Yeah.
I
And
live for it.
as much as we do serious like personal development work, and we're on this podcast to help gay men change their lives and do personal development, like fun and silliness and play and connection and realness is always front and center, and you're bringing it, and so you're doing everything that
Mm-hmm.
I could hope for, and it's a pleasure. So there you go.
Thanks.
You're welcome. Big round of applause, everybody, especially if you are solo in a taxi, at a funeral, or on a crowded train. All right, great. Great. So who's got the first question, Ben? Are we launching straight in?
I reckon we should. I think it's it's a quite a meaty topic, so I feel like we certainly can just dive right in, because I feel like, I would love to learn a little bit more about you, Chris, because we've met a few times, and we've just, had a little chat online and been in different sessions together. But
Mm-hmm.
I'm really excited to learn a little bit more. So I guess, for our listeners and for, myself personally, like I would love to know more about
Mm-hmm.
you, and taking us back to the version of you before you came
Mm-hmm.
out, and
Okay.
what was life like day to day for you?
Well, it's interesting because the immediate past, before I made this decision, I had gotten to a place in my life, really only in the last couple of years, that I think were some of the best of my life. I had worked very hard uh, on my mental health and emotional health, and had been through kind of a long, painful journey. And but I had secured a new job, a new house, new friends. I started going back to church, singing in a church choir. So it's weird because everything felt perfect and
Yeah.
wonderful. But then the little voice in my head said, "But are you going to give up what you've always wanted, which was to be with a man, or to live my authentic life?"
Yeah.
Um, and I it was hard. I couldn't answer that question without taking this next step. Um, but this is definitely something I had, for many reasons, purposely resisted my entire life.
Mm. Hey, Chris, could you paint a picture for us? Like, what's the basics of your life? Like, general
Sure,
location, age, because
sure,
that's gonna ground people
yeah,
in like where you're
okay,
coming from.
sure. I'm 56 years old. I've always lived in the American South. Grew up in Tennessee. Lived in two or three places in Tennessee. Lived in Georgia briefly, but I've been in the state of Alabama for about 19 years. Moved here to teach at a university, and ended up teaching at two different universities here in Alabama. Um, I'm a speech pathologist by training. I've worked clinically, I've worked at academics, but now I'm working kind of on the business side of things for a friend's company. Um, Probably the
Awesome.
most favorite job I've ever had. I work from home. I love it.
Hmm. And I understand you have family, children.
I do. I was married to a woman for about 7 years. I, was single until I was about 41 or 42. I had tried dating women because I thought that was what I was supposed to do.
Mm.
And I thought that's what I wanted. Because I didn't think basically thought being gay was wrong, both from a religious standpoint and just something in my deepest self just told me I was wrong and that was bad, and I
Yep.
didn't want it. I didn't want to. I didn't
Yep.
want to be gay. I wanted to be, quote, normal. I wanted to be like other men. I wanted what other, I idolized, straight men and wanted to be like them,
Yep.
um, and wanted to have sex
Yep.
with them.
It's almost like you
But
grew up in a society, Chris, you know?
yeah,
It's almost like
just you
you
Yeah.
live in the
think,
world.
yeah. So what they say about the quote American Bible Belt is certainly true. It's just in the culture. Being gay is definitely not something you want to embrace or announce to the world. Um,
And that's how you felt
so
in
anyway,
your journey.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
sure.
But
We'll get to that.
so anyway, but yeah, but I had, so I did get married late, and at the time I thought I'd hit the jackpot. I thought I'd arrived. Hey, I'm attracted to a woman and she loves me, and I think we're going to have this great, wonderful marriage. And we did have a son late in our marriage that was unexpected, and but
Yep. And yeah, it gets a bit sad from that point. I understand. You don't have to share any
right,
specifics if you don't
sure,
want to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
sure,
I'm with you, Chris. Well, you do share them with us, and we appreciate that. But it's not necessarily something we want to talk about on the podcast today,
No.
which is fine with
But
me.
I love the fact that you shared the fact that it was what you thought you were expected to do.
mm-hmm,
I
mm-hmm,
That resonates with me personally because, like,
mm-hmm,
although I didn't necessarily, marry a woman or go through that stage or dating women, that's something definitely that I felt when I was younger, also, from that religious aspect, that's
mm-hmm,
something very similar that we share, Chris, in terms
yeah,
of, idolizing people and seeing what they have and going, oh, well, I want that. And that
mm-hmm,
element of, that extra internalized shame on top of
right,
things as well that kind of pops up as part of that religious upbringing. So that,
mm-hmm,
yeah, but you talking about that definitely resonates with me.
mm,
So no,
yeah,
thank you for sharing all of that information with us.
sure,
The two things that I love that you shared was that I want to talk a little bit more about is that you loved your wife. When I talk
right,
to guys who come out later in life, and as you all know, I worked with hundreds of men at this point, so I've seen a whole range. And I made an Instagram post like 3 years ago, 4 years ago, maybe, that was about honoring the love that does exist between a gay man who is closeted or a queer man that is
mm-hmm,
closeted and,
mm-hmm,
his wife. There
right,
is a real love that we can achieve with women that is real, that is authentic, that is
mm-hmm,
deep. We can marry our best friends, and they may be female.
right,
And
right,
although there is this dimension of sex and sexuality and intimacy and deep longings that aren't going to align between a gay man and a straight woman, or
right,
a lesbian woman, any woman.
right,
um, but the love is still very real, and we all may care very, very deeply for these women in our lives. And the great sort of tragedy that unfolds from coming out later and these like gay men getting married to women is that you don't want to hurt anybody. You're actually trying to do something nice. You're trying to make it work. And it must have
mm-hmm,
felt on your wedding day or when you were having sex
mm.
that like, oh, I've made it. I'm doing it. I'm getting it. I fixed it.
Oh
I've
yeah,
I've achieved something
yeah.
amazing.
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
And you go up so high on that roller coaster, and then
Mm-hmm.
probably the little gay gremlins and demons that make you stay up late at
Mm-hmm.
night on your laptop or visit strange toilets or whatever behavior that people get up to try and be gay and married to a woman. It just causes us all kinds of strange behaviors.
Mm-hmm.
Quick note, but we won't go into a rabbit hole. Republicans in airport bathrooms. Just shout out to you guys.
Yeah.
So I wanted to say the
Uh,
love thing, and I wanted to say like the idolization of straight men and then becoming one temporarily in the eyes of the
mm-hmm.
world would just be such an
Right.
emotional roller coaster. It's a
Yeah.
big deal. It's a big deal.
It was also exhausting.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
Now that I've
it
got
would
some
be.
perspective, and now that I'm looking back from the point of view I'm at now, I realize how hard I had to work to maintain that, and how wonderful it was in many ways. And I don't think I was completely faking everything.
No,
I
exactly.
think that's maybe
No.
it's not that, I think some people might have the misconception that I was just going through the motions, but it was real to me. And I fought to maintain my marriage even when it was falling apart around me. And even when my wife was basically begging me to come out,
Mm.
I was so committed to our wedding vows and the life that I thought I had created with her, and we were going to maintain that. And then, my parents were divorced. She had been through a divorce. The idea of divorce was big and scary and terrifying. And I didn't want, I thought I would be left out in the cold alone and not having any security anymore. Because even though our marriage had become pretty toxic, it was still my identity and my safe space.
Yeah, yeah, it's a
So
big
it was
deal.
hard. It was letting go of that was super hard. And it's taken 6 or 7 years to get over that.
Yep, yep, yep. Can we ask you a little bit more about your context first?
Sure.
When did the idea start forming in your head or in your heart or in your loins that something might be different
Hmm.
inside? Did you have any first crushes or any cute gay moments in
Oh,
your childhood that you
yeah,
remember?
I definitely did. And I've thought about these for years, but I looked at them through a very different lens. But now that I've accepted who I really am, everything is just so stinking obvious. It's just the signs were there from very, very early on.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, Ed, we've talked about sharing with my father, which I ended up doing in person this weekend. I'd planned on doing it in a letter, but the opportunity arose, and so we had a chat yesterday, and it was actually a pretty beautiful experience. But
Oh, well done.
I was trying to I was trying to share with him just some evidence that I was trying to make him understand this is not because you and mom were bad parents. You didn't mess me up. This is not emotional trauma. Um, you know, I know that this is in me. And so I tried to give him some examples and I'll give you, but I have a vivid memory of nap time in kindergarten, lying on our little plastic nap mats.
Mm-hmm.
And there were two boys that I was very close to, like my first school friends. But I remember they were asleep and I was awake, like it with tears in my eyes, thinking about how much I loved them. And I was like praying for them and like just feeling this strong
Oh,
connection. And
puppy love.
I,
Oh.
Puppy
it was such major
love.
puppy love. Yeah. And then I think I probably shared this with you, Ed, too, because you had a similar experience. But I had a sleepover with a friend, probably in third grade, maybe, and I just was overcome with this feeling of, love and affection. Of course, it was not sexual, but I freaked the poor kid out because I, just gave him this big gigantic bear hug because I just couldn't hold it in anymore.
Oh.
Um, and I told my dad also that you guys are probably too young, and this is an American pop culture reference, but we had a TV show in the '70s called The $6 Million Man, about a man that had become bionic because he was in a horrible injury, and they gave him an electronic part, so he was like a superhero. Um, but
This
I
is like more
dreamed,
more different RoboCop, right?
yeah.
I know
You
RoboCop.
Yeah, this predated RoboCop,
Yeah,
but
okay.
he was a pretty ruggedly handsome actor. I don't think he's
Oh
attractive
yeah.
now, looking
I
back,
looked it up.
but
Nah, they
yeah,
make
you
him look
did,
hot.
yeah,
They give him a lot
yeah.
of like soft, hot, friendly mask. Yeah. I
I,
nah,
Oh
I
no,
I think it's
I
pretty
do
hot.
know the one you're talking about. Even
yeah,
though even
but
though I am young, I do know the one you
I
are
got
talking about.
twinges. Yep.
well, the crazy thing is, this is the mid to late 1970s or wherever. I don't remember when the show was on, but I was a young child. I had a vivid dream that we were married. I was married to that guy, and this is before gay marriage even existed as a concept,
Oh
and
yeah.
I was a child, and it was obviously not a sexual dream at all, but it was a very deep emotional dream, and my brain came up with this idea that we were going to get married.
Yep.
um
More puppy love.
so
You're such a
yep.
big-hearted, squishy man, Chris. I absolutely love it. You always have been.
True.
You just got this
I,
big old soft
yeah.
heart that just goes, I want this, I want that.
Yeah, I'm just it's funny, I'm discovering that, and I think I've obviously always been this way, but I've never been able to express it in the way I have now, and I'm really enjoying it, being this version of me.
Yep. Nice. Next question, Ben.
Certainly. Well, We have spoken briefly about it previously before in terms of like religion featuring in your journey.
Yes.
And I was just wondering if
Yes.
there was anything else that, you would like to share or tell us a bit
Sure.
more about in
Sure.
regards to that. And like, was it something that or an aspect that kept you
Mm-hmm.
closeted for as long as you were? Was that
Mm-hmm.
religious
Yeah.
aspect and things like
That
that?
was a huge part. Yeah. Yeah, that played a huge role. I grew up in church, but I was in church, prior to the modern American evangelical movement that we all know and love today.
Oh, love it so
uh,
much. I'm so thrilled
yeah, it's
for all
just
those
it's
evangelicals.
the it's the best.
That's so
No, I
great.
grew up in a very traditional church, but so it wasn't like I got this strong message of God hates fags when I was a kid, but I still felt I got some sense that being gay was wrong. That somewhere in the air and the water was the message that me being gay was bad. But it
Yeah.
wasn't until college I was fighting with this really hard in college, and I actually came out in a very painful, not happy way to a female friend of mine. And long story short, she introduced me to a book that she found at a Christian bookstore, which we know of today is kind of the roots of conversion therapy. It
Yeah.
was a bunch of psycho babble and Christian theology wrapped together. And at the time when I read it, it was powerful because for the
Mm,
first time, I had this paradigm of like, this is why you're the way you are, and this is
mm,
the
Yep.
solution.
mm.
It explained, and I related all the stories about different men. I was like, oh wow, so that's why I'm gay, and oh, God doesn't
Yeah.
really hate me. He just wants to save me from this affliction. And so I
Right.
Yeah.
actually dedicated my life to being a Christian my senior year of college. And for the next 25, 30 years, that was the blueprint for my life. Was I am not gay, I just have these attractions because of XYZ that happened in childhood and whatever
Yep.
else that's happened to me. And it's just a sin like any other sin, and God came to save me from sin. And this is
Yeah.
so that's basically that was my handbook for life.
It's very much like sometimes sold as, we dislike the sin, not the sinner. Like,
Yeah,
you
definitely.
are worthy of
Right.
saving and that kind of aspect. And
Mm-hmm.
I know,
Mm-hmm.
you know, I, in my religious experience, like there was no
Mm-hmm.
finger pointing or like, no Game of Thrones moment where they were ringing a bell saying shame as I'm forced to walk down the street. Like nothing
Naked.
like
Right.
that.
Right.
But it was still very much there was that undercurrent where you go, these thoughts
Mm-hmm.
or these feelings that I have are not
Mm-hmm.
aligning to something that
Right.
I should, in inverted commas, because we know that's Ed's favorite word, should be
Shoot alert.
feeling.
Shoot alert. Stop
Should
shooting
alert,
on
whoop,
yourself.
whoop,
Yeah.
whoop.
Whip.
So so I totally can feel you in regards to that. And like, so my first coming out was also at university, but mine was quite hilarious. I was doing a counseling subject, and I told a female friend, an older female friend, and it was during a recorded counseling video that we had to do for an assignment. And I don't
Mm.
know what came over me, but I just blurted it out. And I have it on VHS because I am that old. I have it on VHS, and I can actually freeze the panic in her eyes and her face of, I don't know what to do at this point. And it was absolutely, honestly, I think it's my favorite facial expression to date, was just looking at this poor, 50-year-old woman panic at this tiny little baby 19-year-old gay being like, I think I like men. So and then watching her try and panic her way through a recorded assessment task for university and still pass.
Mm.
So don't know what
Mm.
came over me to do that at university, but apparently that was
Mm.
the done thing. But no, I totally relate in regards to all of the stuff in regards to religion. And I remember having one friend at a youth group give me like the highlighted and find the bits where basically it was like God abhors you, and what you're feeling is
Mm-hmm.
wrong, and like that, and all
Mm-hmm.
of that. And I just kind of went, oh no, what am I going to do to
Mm.
like fix this? And there was a whole lot there. So, and I was very much out at that point, but it was very much, you wanted to take a step back into the closet where I guess it kind of felt safer.
Mm-hmm.
So
Sure.
yeah, no, I thank you for sharing. Like I'm just, the more you talk, the more I'm like, oh yes, I
Mm-hmm.
relate to this
Getting
on
flashbacks.
Yeah.
multiple levels. Multiple
Well,
levels.
I think this story has been replicated many, many times. I know
Yeah.
neither one of us are alone in this type of experience.
No, it's funny,
No.
isn't it? Because it comes from this twisted kind of place of love, where
Mm-hmm.
these
Mm-hmm.
quote unquote Christians are like trying to heal you and redeem you and save you from what they sort
Mm-hmm.
of, I
Mm-hmm.
believe that they believe that you are in
Mm-hmm.
danger, or that the lifestyle is bad and wrong. So many people have spread
Mm-hmm.
so much of that information, and the spreading of that information makes it worse,
Right.
which is the
Yeah.
outrageous stupidity of the kind of
Mm-hmm.
anyone who would grandstand on a stage and say the gay lifestyle is bad, because it's like, oh, you just hurt a whole bunch of people, you just actually caused several more suicides, good for you, dickhead. But it sort of kind of comes from this place of love, so it can feel very confusing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Obviously religious conversion practices have been outlawed in a lot of places around the world now. How do you
Right.
feel about that, Chris? Are you for that?
Oh yeah. It's so harmful, and I don't know what you in Australia have access to, or all the listeners that are listening have access to, but in the American Netflix, there is now a documentary. It's probably been out for a while. It's about 4 years old, called "Pray Away," and it's basically an expose of the conversion therapy movement, and pretty much showing how it fell apart in the U.S.
Yeah.
and how most of its leaders have recanted their positions and are now, most of them are happily married to same sex partners.
Yeah.
There's still a remnant of people who are still doing these ex-gay conversion ministry things, but it's nowhere near to the level it was at one point. There was a whole organization called Exodus International,
Yep.
which doesn't exist anymore. So,
Yep.
but no,
And
it's very harmful.
the leaders confessed that it just doesn't work and that it was super
Mm-hmm.
harmful. Did
Right.
you feel like personal effects? Did the experience of religion crossing with your
Mm-hmm.
sexuality and trying to change yourself cause you greater trauma, turmoil,
Oh,
suicidality?
oh gosh, yes. Of course, my most I've never been directly suicidal, but my most wishing I was dead experience was probably before that coming out experience I was telling you about. But I was in college, and I think what got me to that point was I'd always been attracted to men or boys or whatever growing up sexually, but I had these strong romantic feelings for women or girls. And so I was really confused by that. And I thought, well, maybe that means I'm not really gay. But I crushed really hard on two friends in college. And then, the thought that came after that was, oh, you really are gay now, because you have these romantic feelings and they're sexual. So, nail the coffin shut. But that was when I wanted to die, because I thought if anybody knew, they would reject me.
Mm,
All these friends that I had would hate me if they knew the real me.
mm.
But yeah, the whole intertwining of sexuality and faith for me was really really messed me up, and I'm only now untangling those knots. But the great part is,
Yeah.
for me, I think I've reclaimed a faith that is much more real and more beautiful than before, and celebrates me. I'm attending a church that is very affirming of all people,
That
and
would
now I feel
actually
like
be a great episode topic. Keep going,
Yeah.
keep going, Chris. Tell us
sure,
more
sure.
about this church.
Yeah, it's part of the United Methodist Church in the United States, which has had a rocky history with accepting LGBT, and I think there's still some churches that don't. But this church, a lot of churches are kind of quietly accepting, but this church is pretty um, enthusiastically accepting. Let's put it that way. I mean, the Methodist Church has kind of like a flame and a cross as their little logo, and their flame is rainbow. So it's
I was gonna
it's
say,
like
Love that.
is that for the
you
flaming
can't miss
gays?
it
Yeah.
for the flaming gaze. Yeah, yeah.
So
I
Ben
think
would be
the
like, "Oh
flame.
fuck yeah, church for me,
Oh
sweet."
yeah.
You're right.
Love that.
I think
I'm
the
there.
flame initially represents the Holy Spirit, but no, they're very open and accepting. And I actually attended this church or began attending months before I made this final decision to actually come out. But I knew that that's would be a place I that's I'd like to be, place that I would be happier.
Mm.
Um, I think I was kind of preparing myself for this. Really, it's been it wasn't just one day I woke up and became gay or decided to be gay.
What?
It was about
What? You didn't just snap your fingers, Chris, and it
no, I didn't
happened?
just
It's
snap
not a
my fingers.
choice. I
No,
chose this. What?
it's right. No, it's after my divorce, about the 7 year period of kind of rebirth and regrowth, getting my mental health back and going to therapy and making friends and getting back on track in life in general.
Mm.
Slowly, my brain has been working through this process of unpacking all this religious trauma and rethinking all the things that I thought were true, and now I'm starting to question. I mean, I had gotten to the point even a few years ago where I was like, "Oh well, I guess I'm gay, but I'm not going to do anything about it."
Right. And then how did that
But
go?
no, not great. I mean,
Badly.
although, like I said, I did get to a point where I was, in my mind, very content with my life in general. But that was when I realized, but are you really? Uh, are you going to be happy for the rest of your life, never pursuing a relationship with a man or l- living this truth?
Yeah.
And I was like, no, I don't think that's what I want. So,
Powerful
Yeah.
lesson. Beautifully shared, Chris. Thank you. You guys both have religious experiences. And I want to touch on this briefly. Have have you, Chris, and you, Ben,
mm-hmm,
sort of, I'm gonna say it my way. Have you transcended the religiosity of like the this is that and A is B and C means D and never do E and always remember G, and you bypass that eventually and you go, you know what? Even though there's all this like dogma and words and rules and crap going on that has really, really hurt me in my life, on a deeper
mm-hmm,
level, a feeling of love and connectedness
mm-hmm,
and loving thy
mm-hmm,
neighbor and not wanting to hurt
mm-hmm,
anybody like still deeply resonate with me. My
Yeah.
yeah,
personal chip on my shoulder is that like I from an early age did appreciate that the church hated gays and that they were like antagonistic enemies effectively. That's how I felt. I was very
mm-hmm,
rageful as a teen.
mm-hmm,
And
yeah,
I now, since becoming a life coach and doing a lot of mindfulness and like discovering my own version, which is very, very common, of like what I would call spirituality, which is just
mm-hmm,
this truth inside of me that I do feel deep and infinite love for you guys, for all people, for all things. And if that's the peace of God, brilliant. I'm not Christian, but brilliant. I feel that. That's real for
mm-hmm,
me. And I
mm-hmm,
did once do mushrooms and it helped things along. But like this deeper sense of feeling connected to all of life and all
mm-hmm,
people and all things and the universe, like
mm-hmm,
it's unmeasurable, and therefore unscientific, but it's also a very real personal experience. So my question for you guys is, do you have that today and does that matter to you? And does, Chris, your current church, even though it's still
mm-hmm,
technically Christian, like does it
mm-hmm,
keep you in touch with your spiritual self, and does that matter to
mm-hmm,
you? Does that help you? How
mm-hmm,
does that help you? I'd love
mm-hmm.
to get your take, both of you.
Okay. Ben, do you want to go first, or would you like me to
Yeah, look,
go first?
I can go first. Look,
Sure.
I feel like I've always been drawn to being a person that is in a caring profession, that's empathetic, that has a lot of love and support to give people that need it and that are, wanting to, succeed and help those people. Um, I'm not necessarily what I would class as a practicing person of religiosity, as you would say it, Ed, which is now my new favorite word. Um, but the lessons that have been instilled and ingrained in me from a young age and from my parents and supporting others and helping people when you can is a big part of who I think Ben is and what is my authentic self. And I will move a mountain to help friends and family and other people if needed. So even though I'm not necessarily practicing or actively involved in a religious community, um, I would like to be. There's a part of me that is actively looking at trying to find a community that gels with who Ben is. I'm yet to find something
No, that's okay. We'll
near
just
me,
order a few bear
but
masks. We'll get some
yeah,
capes. I'll invent some fancy
yeah,
underwear, and we can start a
done.
cult. It's about time. Like
I feel like we should.
the ground is prepped, the
I'm
seeds are sown.
I'm okay with that.
We can do this.
We can. But like, I think that is part of it is, just yes, it was, there was elements that were, instilled or intensified shame that I was feeling internally, but there was a lot of, I don't know, positive lessons there as well that, formed, Ben who he is today, and what I value and what I, derive a lot of pleasure from, which is, helping and supporting other people. So yeah.
Yeah. So the bits that align with you do
Mhm.
actually still align with you. They don't have to be
Yeah.
Mhm.
religious, but they're important to you.
No.
They matter.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Great. Chris?
Cool. Yeah, I've always been deeply spiritual, even when I was a child, and so there's always been a very strong sense of love and connection, and I don't know, God, whatever that means. Even that, I
That
think is
feeling,
goes
the
deeper than
feeling of God.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I felt very. So it's really hard to put into words, but that kind of was even deeper than what I was learning in Sunday school or church as a child. Of course, once I encountered the conversion therapy theology, very quickly aligned myself with what we know now as the fundamentalist evangelical church. Pre-Trump, and when I was trying to stay straight, I would have gladly identified myself as a proud evangelical. Post-Trump, hell no. uh, and that's partly what's helped me come out is I had to dismantle all of my spiritual and religious beliefs because the American evangelical church was hijacked by this toxic bullshit.
Yeah.
And it's just gotten worse. And a lot of them have just doubled down.
Yep.
Fortunately, there's droves of American Christians that are like, this is not about Jesus anymore.
Yeah.
We're
It's a cult.
done.
Yeah. It's a Trump cult.
Yeah, some people, and some people have rejected their faith altogether, but some people, like me, have said, you know what, I'm going to salvage the kernels of truth here, but I'm going to
Yeah.
turn against this stuff that's really anti-God, anti-Jesus. Um, you know, I,
From a
I'm
Christian
not really sure what
perspective.
I.
Yeah.
Yeah, I haven't really tried to figure out all the theology and dogma and scriptures that I still believe or don't believe. But all I know is that when I go to church every Sunday, it's very comforting because the hymns are familiar. The music,
Yep.
it reminds me of my childhood. The music we do is. I'm a music nerd, so I look. Part of the reason I went to this church was because they have great music, and I'm in the choir. That really fulfills me. But the people are loving and supportive and fun. I
Yeah.
feel very, I feel like they've become a little family.
The community is real.
The community
Yeah.
is real, and I would compare that community to the brown bear community. Both, you know, whether or not brown bear people acknowledge Jesus, what we're doing with brown bear looks more like what Jesus would have us do than most evangelicals have ever thought about.
Wow. That. Yep. I'm just gonna let that roll down my spine with all those tingles.
Yeah.
Um,
Yep. It's true.
yeah,
It's
I
true.
agree with you, Chris. That is what I'm trying to build, and that's what we are building. We are building a real community of like whole self connection, being really real, really
Mm-hmm.
open, real authentic. Dropping judgment is part of the coaching process that I take people through, but like creating a community of
Mm-hmm.
non-judgment is actually what we're fucking doing.
Yeah.
So
Right.
it's
Exactly.
Yeah. Yeah.
hilarious that we find ourselves
Yeah.
in a place today where we people who feel that we've been persecuted and attacked by religion, Christian religion, in our cases in particular,
Mm-hmm.
probably behaving the most quote unquote Christian. And let's not call it quote unquote Christian. Let's call the evangelical movement generally cultish, and let's call Trump the cult of Trump definitely cultish, cultish, and let's say that like there is a baseline to Christianity that has existed for hundreds of years that is being very twisted
Mm-hmm.
now. And non-judgment, love
Right.
thy neighbor, don't murder.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm
Mm-hmm.
pretty sure if you say sorry after having anal sex, it's going to be all right. I personally never say sorry. So see y'all in hell. I hope you're there too. Alrighty. Ben, next question.
Excellent, will do. So, like talking about, it's been 8 weeks for you, Chris, which is
Mm-hmm.
huge.
Crazy.
And look, obviously mentally there was preparation and thoughts and what was
Mm-hmm.
going to happen.
Mm-hmm.
And if you're
Right.
anything like Ben likes to catastrophize what's going to happen in his
Uh-huh.
head. And
Uh-huh. Yep.
I remember my own thoughts of, telling parents that, the sky was going
Mm-hmm.
to fall, or, when I came
Mm-hmm.
to the own internalized realization that actually this is who I am. And the next time I walk into a church, there's going to be thunderbolts and
Mm-hmm.
lightning and different things like
Mm-hmm.
that. Was it harder
Mm-hmm.
than you expected it to be? Was it easier? Like,
Mm-hmm.
what was
You mean
the
just
overall?
my coming out experiences of the last 8
Yeah.
weeks? Oh, it's been so much easier and so much more joyful than I would have ever imagined. I mean, I had always thought it would be painful. The strange thing is, I wouldn't call it coming out, but I had shared a lot of this stuff with people over the years, but it was in the service of fixing it and shame dumping and woe is meing about it, rather than this is who I am.
You actually got
But
invited to be
obviously,
honest and share your authenticity, and you could because they
right,
were open to that. They're like, "Tell us about your
right,
demon fucking desires,
right,
you
right,
filthy
right,
sex god." I mean,
right.
person.
Yeah, confess all your sins.
Yeah,
but it
yeah.
was
While
it
we
was
jerk off
just
quietly in the corner. Yeah.
right. But all it did was bring me more shame.
Yeah.
Trust me, there are conversations I've had over the years I wish I could take back. It's like, I don't want those people knowing anything about me. They weren't really there to support and love me.
Right.
But now that I'm sharing, and obviously I'm very selective now, and I've got the joy of being very choosy about who I talk to. And every conversation I've had over the last 8 weeks has been life-giving, fulfilling, connecting, has taken a relationship that was already good or at least decent to another level.
Yeah.
And I feel more love. I feel more loved and connected to the people that I care about than I've ever felt in my life.
Super glad to
And
hear
I
that.
guess the surprising thing is the enthusiasm that several people have had, and the words of advice and support and connection that they've given have just been a huge gift. I mean, one particular, there's one of my coworkers is a woman. She's a straight woman, married with 3 kids, but she came out of evangelical faith, but she's now going to a very progressive LGBTQ affirming church. But she did that on purpose because she has gay family members, and she wanted her kids to be raised in an environment not to hate gay people.
Nice.
But we talk on the phone quite frequently for work purposes, but we've had just some amazing conversations on the phone just about life and my this crazy dating experience I've been having. She's been giving me superb advice about relationships and about just all sorts of things. It's been super affirming.
That's wonderful.
It's been so, that was probably the most, it's like a really big surprising gift. It's like, wow, I've got this coworker that I can just share with, and she's a girlfriend.
Yeah, it turns out when you be brave enough to lead by example and show people how you are loving and accepting of yourself, and then you demonstrate that in front of them, they get a sense of trust and ease and safety that they find very easy in the vast majority of cases to mirror back to you and say, you know what, I can love and respect you too as you are. And so would you like to make that like the biggest takeaway message to anyone that's in a closet and still listening to this? That perhaps when you're ready, if you lead by example with self-love and self-acceptance, and then you let someone in to that process, you may form deeper, stronger, much better relationships, much more satisfying, deeper, more comfortable, more
Right.
Mm.
trusting, because you led with heart and courage and you showed them how to be brave and strong and let someone in and look for
Yes.
trust and look for connection. And people can grab onto that,
Yes.
and they do.
Yeah, you do. I'm really glad you said letting people in, because I was exactly about to say those exact words. I don't know where I encountered it. Somewhere in the last 8 weeks, I saw someone post something, whether it was Brown Bear or somewhere else, about instead of saying coming out,
Yeah.
let's say letting people in.
Yeah, because then
And I
we get
really
I
to
think
love
retain
that
the
for
that.
me,
power.
yeah. So in my mind, I haven't been coming out. I've been letting people in, the people that I cared most about and that I know care most about me. I've been letting them in, and it's just been unbelievable.
I'm not going to claim all the credit, but I'm pretty sure I did outline that with you in like our first
Oh, okay.
meeting. Yeah.
Well, then you please take the credit, because I didn't know where to give the credit.
Well, I stole it from someone else. This is the way humans operate.
Okay.
But
Well,
yeah.
thank you for owning it, because to be honest, I really could not remember where I'd come across that phrase, but I'm glad it's you.
Oh
Yay.
no, I'm not taking full credit. It might not have been me, but I definitely outlined
Oh,
it.
okay.
It's a great
Okay.
concept. It helps us
Yeah.
keep the power, because it says coming out is an act of self-exposure, and like as if
Right.
someone who's frightened, under-resourced, and a bit terrorized by
Yeah.
society, culture,
Right.
and possibly religion needs to
Right.
expose themselves and have less power.
Yeah.
No, if
Right.
someone
Right.
earns enough of your trust and respect and makes you feel safe, then you can give them the
Mm-hmm.
privilege of being let
Right.
into your truth in your life.
Exactly. And that's exactly what it's felt like. And it's just, I get emotional even thinking about it. It's a beautiful thing. And
Yep.
I hope more people can experience it.
Chris, do you like roller coasters? Yes or no?
I do.
Great.
Actually like roller
Right.
coasters.
Yeah. Good. Yep. Because we're about to go from the top to the bottom. Are you ready?
I will hang on tight. The
okay.
roll bar is secure.
We
Seatbelt
have
is on.
checked. You do meet minimum height requirements. You are fine.
I'm quite tall, so I think I've passed the bar. Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Okay,
Was
I'm
there
ready.
grieving involved? And what, if anything, have you grieved for? Like maybe time lost or past
Yeah.
versions of yourself or
Oh,
fractured
yeah.
relationships?
Definitely. And of course, Ed, you know how much I've cried over the last 8 weeks. Of course,
Yeah, a
you've only
lot.
seen a little bit of it. You've only seen a
And
little
I
bit
think
of
it's
it.
a
A lot of
lot.
the crying, yeah, a
Big
lot of the
heart
crying
Chris.
has been done in private. What
Yep.
now?
Yep. Big-hearted
There's
Chris. He's got a lot of tears to give. Yep.
Oh yeah. It really kind of alarmed me at first, because I don't know why I
I
wasn't
didn't know my
expecting it.
body contained
Now,
this much water. What the fuck?
exactly, yeah. But yeah, it's several, and there's been several levels that have occurred. At times, I was able to identify a feeling with English words, and other times it was like I have no idea what to call this, but it fucking hurts. And
Yeah.
I, if I think my guts are gonna fall out because I'm crying so hard. But I know a lot of it is, some of it's relief, some of it's terror about what's next, some of it's just letting go of the shame, some of it is fear that I won't find what I'm looking for, and that I will have done all this and then still be alone. There's been, and also we've talked about the concept of anger and pain from my innermost self that has been locked away and told they're bad, and has been prevented from being in the sunlight, is upset and hurt, even though I was trying to protect them. Protecting them actually hurt me. So yeah, there's just a whole bunch of stuff that's come up.
Fair
Look,
enough.
I won't lie to you, Chris. I was also surprised at how many tears I shed when I was working with Ed. I'm fairly sure I single-handedly broke the drought in my local area. So you're 110% not alone in that one, my friend.
You guys are just big babies. Most of my clients don't cry.
We are. We're just soft-hearted bears, Ed. We're teddy bears. We're not a polar bear.
No. Yeah, I've had a lot of clients wish they could cry. That's a very interesting thing. I've worked with men in all kinds of situations with all kinds of different levels of squishiness and softness and hardness, and most of the hardness is manufactured. But I'm glad that you can cry openly and freely,
Yeah.
because if you were emotionally
Right.
constipated, you would go on that
Mm-hmm.
journey, and that one's not really
Oh yeah.
fun either.
Well,
I used to go to therapy.
if you have people that need the juiciest of tear ducts, I am happy to donate
Oh,
part of
you'd like to
mine.
swap yours out?
I look done.
Yeah.
All
Do
for
you
it.
cry at
Huh.
movies easily?
Oh, mate,
I
we're
don't.
coming up to Christmas commercials. There are some there. I just
Get the
openly
tissues.
weep. Oh gosh,
Alrighty.
no. Well, look,
Chris.
before we jump
Oh
into
yeah.
those final
Ben.
questions, though, Ed,
Yes.
I would really like to just suggest maybe I can get hold of Chris's girlfriend's number for this A+ dating advice. I just
Okay.
I just want to throw that little plug in there, because if we're getting A+
Yeah.
dating advice and you're gatekeeping that
Right.
from us,
Ben wants it.
Okay.
I'm
I
gonna have to have
actually
words
have.
with you there, Chris.
Well, I don't want to brag, but I actually have at least two women that I can talk to that are really good
Oof.
at that. So
Two
I don't know.
women.
I guess I
Whoa.
can share.
Calm down. Calm down.
I'm
There we go.
collecting
Ed, there's
fag
another.
hags.
There's another episode. I reckon we don't get
Fruit
people
flies,
from
Chris.
Brown Bear Skool on. We get our handbags on, and they get to tell us what we should be doing. Just,
Yeah, we'll
I
think
love it.
about that. Well, yeah, maybe.
It's like, and putting that in the column of not doing.
No.
Love that.
I
All right, we
wouldn't
can.
mind at all, actually. I'd love to interview someone's bestie if they're a client and they're having like a great relationship with a woman that's very important to them, and that woman wanted to be on the podcast. Yes, we could totally do that.
Yeah.
The other thing I want to say is, like, if you take away some golden nuggets, Chris, can you just synthesize them for us and post them into Brown
Okay.
Bear Skool and just say,
Sure.
hey, look, I was thinking this and I was experiencing this, and then my girlfriend told me this and it made me think and feel this, and I think that's really fucking brilliant, so I wanted to share it with you guys.
Okay.
Love it.
Yeah, I don't know if I have anything specific yet that I'll think about it, but some of it's just been kind of the support, but yeah, I think
Yeah.
there's definitely a few things that she said that were like, oh, that's really wise.
Yeah,
Just
yeah.
remember that.
Yeah.
Things like
That's
don't give
it.
away your power, don't be desperate,
Yeah,
look
yeah,
for these
Yes.
red
yeah.
flags. Yeah.
Right.
I mean, that's a funny one, actually, not to go down a rabbit hole, but like, don't be desperate. What if you are desperate? Every desperate person I've ever met, the first thing they say is, I'm not desperate, but or I'm not desperate. And it's like, yeah, no, you are. I've been desperate in my life. I've been desperate for love, desperate for acceptance, desperate to feel better.
Right.
It's something we go through. Denying it doesn't help. If you're desperate, I would say be desperate. Just be mindful of the way you're communicating and interacting with people, because you might really scare them and push them away. But there's nothing wrong with you being desperate. But let's work on that a little bit so that you can improve your relationship capabilities, so that you can not push people away accidentally.
Yeah.
So
Sure. No,
got another question.
I feel it.
Shut up, Chris. I'm talking now. God, it's my podcast. Chris, what
Yes.
part of yourself is most glad that you came out, if any?
What part of myself is most glad that I came out? That's a good question.
Is it your butt or your dick?
Here we go.
Both. It could be both or neither. It might be your mouth, or your hands, or I don't know what you're into. Feet, you dirty dog. All of the above.
I don't know. I mean, before you started being silly, I was gonna say, it's really hard to say. I mean, kind of all of me, because I feel like in many ways all of my daily interactions with people and how I move through the world and just do my daily work, I just feel different.
Yes.
And I noticed it the other. I can't remember exactly what it was. I was in a very familiar environment doing something very familiar, but I thought, I feel completely different doing this very familiar thing.
Yes.
And it's hard to even describe in words, but it's like I'm not the same person.
Lighter, freer, more playful, less guarded, less anxious, more comfortable. You feel it. You dance easier. You laugh more.
All of those.
It's
I don't
not
know about
just coming
dancing,
out,
but
right? It's
yeah,
authenticity. It's having a profound realization. I can belong in this world.
mm,
I can give
yes,
myself permission to be seen
right,
and known and heard, and therefore I am allowed to express myself. And this transforms your life. This isn't just coming out. This is something that I help lots of people achieve. And I'm so glad that you brought it up, because who knew coming out could help you at your local mahjong club, and buying shoes the next time you need to buy shoes, and just it touches every aspect of your life.
it
When people
does.
say
Yeah.
don't make being gay your whole identity, like, fuck you do not have any fucking idea how incredibly pervasive my
Yeah,
sexuality is, part of my sense of self. And when I cannot
Yeah.
be
right,
myself in this world fully, it fucks my whole life up. So shut the fuck up,
right,
because you have no idea what it is like
right.
to try to hide yourself, suppress yourself, pretend to be someone else, put on a mask,
Mm-hmm,
put on a voice,
mm-hmm,
fake it, lie to people,
mm,
constantly protecting yourself and looking over your shoulder. It's fucked.
mm,
People kill
mm-hmm,
themselves over this shit, and there's a good reason why. Like, and it is
mm-hmm.
coming out, and it's also not coming out. And thanks for holding my passion. Like, this is why I do what I do. It
Yeah, yeah,
transforms your life. Loving and
right,
accepting yourself and letting yourself out is good for
right.
everybody. Everybody
Oh yeah,
wins. And it's not
yeah,
just coming out, but it is also coming out, obviously. So thank you.
yeah. Great share, Ed. I had a I had a very profound experience very early on with Brown Bear, where I realized that being gay is not really that much about sex. It's about who I am as a person, and that's so much more than just sex.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's not that it's our quote unquote whole identity, but it does permeate our whole being. Like, you
Yeah.
cannot separate the two. And
Mm-mm,
so my
mm-mm.
identity is inextricable from my sexuality. And my sexuality
Yeah,
is not just about sex. You know what?
exactly.
I saw a wonderful interview with a Catholic priest who, I can't remember. There was a documentary, maybe it was on Netflix, and this priest was saying, "Look, everything is sexual. Smiling at someone is sexual. Saying hello,
Mm,
shaking someone's hand,
mm,
expressing yourself, singing, everything is sexual, because we're sexual creatures and it pervades all of us." And I was like, "Holy shit! This is a Catholic priest saying this. I wish they all felt this
mm,
way." And I had this
mm-hmm,
deeper level understanding of the reality of what it feels like
mm-hmm.
to walk through the world
Yeah.
as a sexual creature, and then try to deny
Mm,
it and see how that fucking goes. Yeah, that guy gets it, and
right.
it was really nice to hear
Yeah.
it from a Catholic priest.
Yeah.
Someone you
Mm-hmm.
assume doesn't get it.
Right.
All right, let's
Yeah.
let's get to more of these questions. Looking back, is there anything you
Mm-hmm.
think that anyone could have said or shared with you earlier that would have helped, or is it
Hmm.
more like, because these things are hard to see in hindsight, but
Yeah.
you just
Sure.
sort of have to go on this journey anyway, or is there something someone could have
Uh-huh.
said that might have helped?
Hmm. Hmm.
What would that have
It's a
been?
really good question. Like that could have helped me come out sooner.
Or not just come out sooner, but like, how we were just talking about the impact and the effect and the result of being
Mm.
yourself, unleashing yourself,
Mm-hmm. Mm.
eliminating shame, ending self
Mm.
rejection. That's what all of this is about.
Right.
So, could
Wow.
someone have helped you achieve that earlier? Maybe what would they have said? Was there anything you would have wanted to have heard?
Yeah. I think. Well, sorry. I'm trying to put this thought together. I think part of me felt like I was hearing that message when I got the message of God is going to heal you from this, and God loves you, because I thought God hated me. So there was this kind of twisted moment where I was like, oh wow, I really am loved by God. I'm okay.
Mm,
But in order to be fully okay, I need to let God fix this problem.
yeah,
And I'm broken.
yeah,
But now I think what I really needed to hear is unconditional, full stop, no extra phrases. There's nothing wrong with you,
yeah.
Yeah.
just as you are. And that's I remember you on one of your Instagram reels or Facebook reels. I saw you lean to the camera and say, "There's nothing fucking wrong with you," and
Mm.
I think that's what I needed to hear.
Unconditional acceptance. And when
Yeah,
we
yeah,
achieve unconditional acceptance, we let go of baggage. And if you feel your little spirit cup of energy filling up, that's a human thing too. And yeah, don't be
mm-hmm,
surprised if you can achieve radical acceptance of everything that is
mm-hmm,
exactly and only what it is. you may be filled with, quote unquote, the spirit of God. And it just feels like love. It feels like connection. It feels like okayness. It feels like peace, and
Yeah.
a radical acceptance, capital A.
Yeah. And I
Love that.
think,
And
go ahead.
no, you go, Chris.
I was just going to say the feeling of wrongness that I carried my whole life went even further beyond any feelings of having sexual attraction for men.
Yeah.
I felt, take that part out of it, I just felt like I was just wrong for existing. I thought there was something fundamentally wrong with me,
Yeah.
that I did not fit in the world.
Yep. That's another
And
example
that I had to
of
work. Yeah.
your sexuality is inextricable from your sense of self-identity. You didn't just think it was wrong to be gay. You thought you were wrong. You were wrong.
Right.
And that's
Yeah.
the thing that so
Yes.
many gay men are experiencing. I did a video about this yesterday. It's not that we think that our sexuality is wrong or that it's wrong to be gay, but we've internalized this deeply troubling notion that something is wrong with me that needs to be
Yeah.
fixed. And that is our greatest obstacle to living the lives we truly
Yeah.
want, being the people, unleashing ourselves, being the version of us that is the real us that we truly, madly, deeply want to be.
Right.
Cool. So though it's me. If in a previous generation, a few decades ago, if you could have heard my voice, you would have been like, yeah, I need Instagram. I need Brown Bear Coaching Instagram. That's what I needed.
Right.
Thank
No,
you. Very oddly self-serving.
I think everything happens in the right time, I think.
That's the other part of the question, right? I said, did you just have to go on the journey? Sometimes we're just not ready for shit.
Yeah.
And so it won't do anything.
Right. There's definitely parts of my journey that I just think they're just hardwired. I just don't know if they couldn't have happened any other way. And I wouldn't be the person I am now with not having gone through that. So
yeah.
And they couldn't have gone any other way
because you are who you are, and you literally can't change what is. It already is what it is. So it happens in a certain kind of way, unsurprisingly, because of the preconditions, which we don't have a lot of control over. That was a lot of words, but I stand by them.
I like it.
I follow it.
Cool. Ben, are you next?
Just on yes, I am. Well, on the back of that, if you could speak to someone who is quietly questioning Chris, and they are 40 or 50 or 60.
Yeah.
What is that one thing, or not even just one thing, but what is that thing that you would want them to hear coming from you and your experience?
The first thing that pops into my mind that's probably had the biggest impact for me lately, that's been kind of takes the breath away from me, is those deep feelings of wanting to be connected to a man, not just sexually, but emotionally and every other way. That goes back to the childhood memories I shared earlier. That's how deep they are. And then as I've gotten older, that longing for masculine male connection and that love, what's helped me, what I've finally realized is, there's nothing wrong with that. That's a beautiful thing, and that's who you are, and it should be celebrated and embraced and nurtured and explored. And so if anybody was feeling like, I shouldn't be feeling this way, so it's wrong I should be feeling this way for a woman, not a man, I'd say no. But everything you're feeling is beautiful. It's different than maybe what the society has laid out as the norm, but there's nothing wrong with it.
Love that.
The kind of love that just
of course
fits you like the glove to your hand, and it feels
Exactly.
masculine,
right,
but it just works, and it unlocks us, and it fills us up, and maybe to have that love and to experience that love and to cultivate that love and to encourage that love, to go beyond repair into truly thriving and living into cool, let's fucking talk about love, let's express love, let's share our love experiences, let's talk. Thank you, Chris.
You're welcome.
Love it. And I guess just finally, has coming out changed the way that you imagine your future, Chris?
Well, definitely, because like I said, I had reached what I thought was this really beautiful point in my life just even a few months ago, where I was thoroughly convinced, and I had convinced myself that, I've worked fucking hard to get to this point.
Yeah.
I'm happier than I've ever been. So many parts of my life are right where I want them to be. I feel so blessed and lucky. And to be honest, I was like, who would want to mess this up by trying to have a relationship? Relationships are hard.
Yeah.
But then I just could not deny the fact that this is something I've wanted for so long and had this deep, deep, deep desire for that goes down to my core. So I really feel like at this point, I do feel desperate. I'll own it. I am desperate to
Mhm.
find someone
Yeah.
to express all this stuff that I have. I've got just this gigantic warehouse full of love and joy and intimacy I want to share with someone.
Mm.
Um,
Yeah.
but my dad asked me yesterday. He's like, "Well, what will you still be this happy person you were earlier this year if you don't find that person?" Uh, I would hope so, but
Mm.
I don't think I'm gonna. I don't think I'm gonna want to give up looking.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. Yep.
No, it's good. I like it.
But yeah, so
Thank you.
I'm
And
seeing. I'm beginning to see a future, and it's neat because I'm getting excited about wow, that could actually happen for me, and that would
yeah,
what would that look like? So I've been letting myself have some healthy fantasy about what that would look like for me.
that's
quick
brilliant.
quick coaching moment. Like that is a big fucking deal. That
Mm,
when someone can say, I actually am open to these amazing things happening to me. I feel like they could and they might, and maybe they're just around the corner. That is indicative
mm-hmm,
of someone whose like heart and soul and mind is now
mm-hmm,
open to their own highest potential. Those are
mm-hmm.
silly cliche words, but I really mean it.
Right.
Helping, like
Mm.
I wish I had a sword that I could slice whatever it is that needs slicing to help people achieve that radical sense of self-identity shift. Because after,
Mm,
4, 5, 6 sessions with Brown Bear coaching, everyone can get the basics and start to practice them. But the deepest, most profound shift is when someone re-understands the way they understand themselves and their potential
mm,
and what the universe may
mm,
be able to bring to them. And when your heart and your mind and your soul, if we have one, is open to a boyfriend, is open to a chance encounter, is open to a new friend, is open to being happy, is open to achievement and love and belonging and peace and all the great stuff and confidence and self-direction that we talk
mm-hmm,
about achieving in Brown Bear Skool. The critical thing is that you can help somebody re-understand themselves so that they literally
mm-hmm,
do feel open to their own potential. And sometimes it's slow and
mm,
sometimes it's fast, but to hear you say those
mm-hmm,
words and to get the chance to talk about it on the podcast, to share this experience with people is really, 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 really wonderful. And I'm super happy for you,
mm,
Chris. And I'm just only
mm,
excited for the rest of your journey.
mm.
Thank you so
That's
much
great
for
to hear.
sharing
Me
everything
too.
that you've shared with us.
Yes, thank you.
No,
Yeah, and
this
you
has
too.
been awesome.
Exactly. Let's do it together.
I've been looking
Woo!
forward to this. Yeah, yeah, I'm ready. No, I feel I don't. I mean, desperate sounds like had so many negative connotations. I feel like I'm just more super eager. I'm like ready for
For
just
life.
diving in deep to yeah for life, for
Yeah.
relationships. I want other people to come out of the darkness and just come in to share and enjoy life and
Yep.
connect and
Yep.
have good experiences. And it's frustrating to me because I thought that I would find all these kind of
Happy gay
like-minded
men.
gay men,
Oh
happy gay
no.
men ready to do that, and they're not
Yeah.
there. Where are
They're in
they?
Brown Bear School. They're in Brown Bear School. We're here.
Well, no,
We're
true.
here, Chris.
They are. They're right. They're right here on this podcast.
We try.
Well,
We
we
try our
try.
best.
We do.
That's
No,
a
but
really
it's
good point, actually. That's a very common
yeah,
experience. People think like, oh,
yeah,
if I finally come out and accept my truth, I'll find myself among welcoming, happy, enlightened gays. No, no.
I'll go to my local gay bar and meet my husband.
right,
Yeah, where
right.
most people are having an anxious, stressed,
Yeah,
self-conscious
yeah,
experience that we reflect upon
yeah.
each other, and then it reminds us about what we don't like about the feelings inside of ourselves. It's hilarious that gay
Right,
men were so desperate to love and be intimate and connect together,
right.
but we also trigger each other
Hmm.
because we see in each other the
Mm,
struggles and the difficulties that we felt and we
yeah.
didn't like. But there is a way
Mm,
to achieve, I'm just going
right.
to call it radical acceptance today. And then you
Yeah.
do transform, and it transforms your life and your feelings, your outlook and your thinking. Nothing's perfect. Like it's not butterflies and
Mm-hmm.
roses all day, every day, but we can
Mm-hmm.
leave these problems of the past behind and
Yeah.
thank you for this opportunity to segue into me bragging and talking about Brown Bear Skool again. Like, the mission really is to create like a gay utopia, like where we can rock up to a gay bar where people don't have personal problems. They have personal situations, but they're willing to say yes to what they want, no to what they don't want. They're willing to be open and honest. Hey, I like foot stuff. Do you like foot stuff? Like, oh, no, thank you. But I heard that Barry did. Have you met him? Fuck yeah, let's make that. That is what Brown Bear Skool wants to be. And I hope that in 10 years, we come back together and we listen to this episode, 17th of December, 2045, and we go, no, 2045, 35, 45, every 10 years, we're coming back and we're going to go, wow, holy shit. That was our mission. That's what we were building. We're still together. We're still enjoying it. How fucking great is that? Let's do that.
Only problem is
Love
the
it.
history record is going to be confusing as hell because it's actually the 16th of December.
Oh, no.
Look, I'm going to go with the majority time zone, Chris, is
Yeah,
the
you're
7th.
outvoted.
So you're
That's it,
outvoted.
kangaroo.
That's
Get
fine.
him.
You Aussies.
Get him.
We'll let the Aussies win this one.
Yes.
You're
want
living in the
something.
future. What's it like in the future?
We love nothing better than beating Americans, as you know.
Oh, I love it. Well, Chris, stay on board because we're about to broaden your horizons with a little bit more cool
Yes.
gay shit.
Awesome.
Go, Ben. Get it.
Look,
Go. Attack.
go on, go on,
Arr,
get
get
it,
him.
get it, grr. Well,
Fight it.
I have a question for you. What is gayer than a
Hopefully
pink
not for Chris. I'm
neon
sick of that guy.
sign?
Sorry, I interrupted the hell out of you. Try again.
No. So, what is gayer than a pink neon sign?
You.
Well, obviously me. But the Swedish Peace and Arbitration Society, or SPAS, installed in 2015 an underwater defense system known as the Singing Sailor in the waters of Stockholm. Essentially, it was a neon sailor that flashed so that it looked like they were removing their pants. And in Russian, along the top said, "Welcome to Sweden." And it also emitted Morse code that said, "This way if you were gay." It was used as a deterrent for Russian submarines and was actually a protest in regards to the laws that were put in Russia in 2013. But there is just something I just deeply love in my petty soul of putting in a giant neon gyrating hip, pink hearts flashing neon sign underwater that no one else is going to see unless you're in a submarine outside the waters of Stockholm.
Yeah.
And I love it.
Weaponized
And
faggotry. I love it.
I stumbled upon it. I literally stumbled upon it this week and I went, I love this. It fills my soul.
Yeah,
with
we
so much joy.
we need to create one and put him in front of several towns and put one in front of my house.
But apparently, statistically, there was less Russian subs found in the waters of Sweden after it was put in.
They couldn't.
And I'm
handle
like,
it.
I don't know if that last fact is actually true, but just a little part of me wants it so badly to be true. And I also now need to go and learn how to put "this way if you are gay" in Morse code, because that might help me attract a date. Who knows?
Hey,
I'm down with it.
Yuri, did that sign give you any ideas? I don't know if we need to patrol today. I haven't known what he was talking about.
What is that? Turn left. Okay. No. I love it. So that's
You're
my
right. Let's go
first
to
cool
Stockholm.
gay shit. And then now, Chris, this is a bit of a deep cut for us Aussies.
Okay.
But I will put a little snippet from Instagram up to give context for people. But I'm about to go a bit Margaret Pomerantz and introduce a bit of a new movie. So Margaret is this beautiful woman who does movie reviews on a channel here in Australia on SBS, and she is sassy and amazing and wonderful and low-key a spirit animal of mine. But The movie is Pillion. Now, it's only quite new and just
Mm.
been released. I'm not sure
Hmm.
if people have seen or heard of it, but it
I
has
have.
Harry Melling, who is from the Harry Potter franchise, but also, just I need a moment, Alexander Skarsgård, that man. So they play Colin and Ray. And Colin is this weedy wallflower letting life pass him by. And he meets Ray, who is, because it's Alexander Skarsgård, impossibly handsome leader of a motorbike club who takes him on as his submissive. So Ray takes Colin from his suburban life, introduces him to a community of kinky queer bikers, and takes, let's just say, all sorts of virginities along the way. Colin then, starts, delving deeper into this world. There's rules and mysteries, and he actually starts to begin questioning whether the life of a 24/7 submissive is actually for him. And has he actually found his
Mm.
calling, or is he just simply swapped one form of suffocation for another? So
Mm.
it is absolutely amazing. It is on my to watch list to make sure I go and see it in the cinemas. And what I love is I found this little fun fact is the director actually spent time with a queer bikey group. And that group acted as an advisor and in an advisory capacity during the filming, which was pretty cool. So check it out. Have a look at the movie Pillion if you would like to see a little bit of Harry Melling and Alexander Skarsgård in lots of different dominant submissive type scenarios.
And what's your 5-star rating for that one, Margaret?
Uh, well, I will actually have to watch it before I give it, but considering it's Alexander Skarsgård, 6 out of 5 stars.
Oh, Margaret, it's the first time on the show. But I,
I do
David,
believe
will give it a solid 3 because I often give 3s.
he does, doesn't he? David really does give a lot
Bring
of
them
threes.
back. I miss it so much. What was
I
it called?
so love
At
that
the
show.
movies?
At the movies.
Yeah, Margaret and David.
Mm.
I missed them a lot. I watched them every week. It was so great.
Oh,
God, I wish
so
I could
good.
watch as many movies as they do.
Mm.
We love you, David and Margaret. Thank you. All right, Pillion. Excellent. Sounds fun.
Pillion.
I wonder,
it
like,
out.
about the budget. There's so many gay movies and films and stuff that I'm like, I don't like it. But yeah, nowadays, I think in the 2020s, we're getting a super big bunch of really good ones.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So this could be another good one.
So,
Awesome.
Yeah, no, I'm excited to go see it.
Awesome. Thanks, Ben. Do you think they will sell the SPAS's Singing Sailor? Is there a chance we could buy it?
Look, I don't know if we could buy it, but I'm sure there would be a way that we could get a replica or small keychains or something made.
Make our own version.
Mm.
We could find a way.
Oh,
Mm.
I have a
keychains.
3D
That's a good
printer.
idea. Ooh. All right. You're now officially in charge of Brown Bear merch, Brown Bear Silly merch, and everyone gets a keychain. Nice. Alrighty. So to wrap up today's episode, let's play Thirst Trap Theater. Ben, would you like to go first?
I will. Now, once again, whilst I was doing research for our cool gay shit, I stumbled upon fun Tinder profiles. Now, this is an actual bio that was 3 sentences at most on it, and I loved it because I feel like it's something that I too could use. So you've got picture, age, location, bio. I hear you like bad boys. Well, honey, I'm bad at everything. Boom. I'm swiping. I am swiping right every time.
Excellent.
Every damn time I would swipe right on that.
Alrighty. I've
Edward,
got 2 more
what have you
Grinder
got for us?
conversations. Heartily stolen, lifted from Lol Grinder on Reddit. Thank you, Lol Grinder. You're an endless source of entertainment. Blue on the left side. You know why they call me the baker? Yellow on the right side. Why? Blue, because I pound cake. Hi, I'm Jacob. Yellow. Hi, Jacob. I'm cake. Next one. Blue, want a top? Yellow, is your profile image your mugshot? Blue, yes it is. I was acquitted. Yellow, acquitted of? Blue, resist, delay, obstruct. It's a matter of public record. Yellow, out of curiosity, why use that as your profile image? Blue, good lighting and clear skin. I charge that man with insanity and do not acquit him of anything.
No. Oh my Lord.
Good lighting and clear skin. Who knew?
Oh.
Just get arrested
Who
and
knew?
you get the best grinder profile ever.
There you go.
Mm.
Done.
That's the secret. That's the secret.
I may not be trying that as a strategy. I'm just going to throw that one out there.
All right, we'll leave that to other people. Maybe the queer bikies.
I'm going to stick with my Morse code. I'll let you know how that one goes first.
Are you Morse coding on your profile? All right, good luck.
I could find a way. Don't leave it with me. I will find.
It's one way
It's
to
just dots and dashes.
It's one
It's
way to
just
find
dots
the
and
perfect
dashes.
nerd for you. Or, like a
It
really
really is.
old guy. My dad was in the Merchant Navy. He could probably do it.
See?
You
Done.
want to meet my dad?
Maybe? I don't know. Do I? But
I love my dad, but no, you don't.
okay, well there we go. Well, there we go. I'll cross him off the list. Done.
Yeah. One more off the list.
One more crossed off the list. It's okay. I'm just narrowing it down, one man at a time.
Yeah. Batting
Alrighty.
averages. You just got to keep batting.
That's right. That's right.
Baseball. Dating
Well,
is baseball.
Crappy affirmations, Sir Edward.
Mm.
Have you got one for us today?
Sure do. Are you ready for ChatGPT's attempt at the worst, most squalid, awful, crappy affirmation you've ever heard?
I am.
Again, I don't even know. It might not even be bad enough to be funny, but let's see. Everybody breathe. I lovingly honor my brave, juicy journey as a radiant beacon of authenticity. And I give myself permission to step into my truth like a fully blossomed lotus rising from the ashes of societal conditioning. Today, I choose me.
That was an incredibly long
Painful.
affirmation.
Awful.
Like, mate, if
Painful.
I have to do an affirmation that's more than a sentence, even then I get it wrong. I would just like, nah.
ChatGPT is also offered more corporate coach cringe, and I think I'm going to lean into that for next episode.
Ooh, I love that. Well, mine
Nice.
doesn't come from chat, but it does come from Pinterest. But I do quite like this one. Deep breath in. There is nothing wrong with wanting connection. Bears were never meant to hibernate alone. Boom. I love that
Now
one.
that just makes
Although
me wonder about bears.
Now I'm wondering, and I'd need to go back and Google if bears actually do hibernate alone.
Yeah, they do.
Damn it.
Shittest affirmation ever. You've done it.
I did it. I win.
I'm really starting to question if this is the right way to end the show, but that was a really shitty affirmation. Well done.
I quite like it. You know what? Well done, me. Go team.
That's the
Hey,
spirit.
Ed, we have updated our interface more often than Grindr has, so I feel like we're on a win.
All right. Good. I'm glad you feel that way because I care about you.
Thank you.
So that's it for this week, everybody. Thank you very much for listening. It's been a great pleasure to talk to Chris and introduce him to you. I want to invite everyone from Brown Bear Skool eventually to come have a chat with us. It doesn't have to be this long. It can be this awesome. You're all welcome. As soon as you put up your hands, I'll make a list and you're all getting in. Have fun. You can follow us at Brown Bear Coaching on Instagram. You can join us on Skool, skool.com/brown-bear-skool with a K, not a ch. But you can also just Google it. Just Google Brown Bear Skool with a K and you'll find us. Inside, you can read the gorgeous book, A Gay Man, illustrated storybook. It's free to download on $9 if you want to pay the artists, not me. You can attend and watch free workshops and workshop recordings. There's one this Thursday. There's one next Monday. Obviously, that's Sunday for Americans who live in the wrong time zone, Chris. And you can enjoy the powerful on-demand lessons with my witness accept align process, and hopefully that helps you quite a lot. Oh, one more fun new addition this week is the tractor doc TM, so that you too can be a tractor in your own life. Look forward to that. It's in Brown Bear Skool. If you're in Brown Bear Skool already, give it a go. It's in the best resources pinned to the community page. Yeah. And if you really love it there, you'll eventually get invited by me to fill out a quiz to see if you want to do coaching with us. So that's the end of the ad. Thank you, everybody, for listening. Thank you for being here. It's a pleasure to be in your ear holes.
Thanks, Ed.
Oh gosh. Everyone listening, don't forget to make good choices.
All right. Chris, want to say anything?
I'm speechless.
All right. All good then. Well, until next week, fellas, keep your undies clean or just don't wear any. Okay, great. Awkward, guys. Awkward silence. We're going to have to edit
You
this.
can edit out the silence,
Oh,
Edward.
God. I thought you were going to say be funny and shit. Ta-da.
I
Pop
said
up
my
with
funny
nothing.
thing.
Nothing?
I thought I was supposed to be silent there at the end. I'm sorry. I was holding in the laughter.
All right. Okay, bye.
Oh, God. Bye.